What's up? Bonnie Sports Network here, talking about the NBA playoffs predictions. Starting now, tomorrow's the playoffs. You know, I think it can be decent. It's gonna be different, obviously, except for the West, in my opinion. Um, despite Golden State losing against Memphis, as it shows right here, um, I'm still picking the Golden State to win the championship. They just have a too Their team's too good, and NBA is really predictable, except for the East. I think, in my opinion, but I'm predicting it. Let's start off with the obvious shit. All right, Golden State versus the Clippers. Clippers. Uh, all they have is Lou Williams. He used to play for the Raptors, and Golden State has Curry. They have Thompson, Curry, Draymond Green, Boogie Cousins, Durant, and Iguodala. They have plenty of fucking shooters that could just wreck your team just by the three alone. And I'm picking Golden State to win in 5. Rockets and Jazz. I think the Jazz can pull off a little upset, and I think the Rockets. They've been mediocre all year. Really, that's why they're the 4th seed. But I think, the Jazz are gonna pull a game this off. I don't think the Rockets are gonna move past the first round. They re-signed Chris Paul in the offseason. They have a good team, but I think the Jazz can upset them, and that's it. We got and Portland, Oklahoma. Damian Lillard um versus Westbrook is gonna be a good series, but I think Oklahoma's gonna win 6. Dennis Schroeder, the German shooter, and Paul George and Westbrook. Oklahoma was looking like shit when they lost Durant. Kind of like it reminds me of right, it happened this year with the Islanders. They looked shit when they lost Tavares, and now they're in the playoffs, and like shit happens. Shit happens. You lose a good player, doesn't mean it's a be all to end all of your fucking team. So good job for Oklahoma keeping competitive. You got the Denver Nuggets versus San Antonio. I think San Antonio is gonna get swept. The Rosen and the Spurs are gonna get swept by Jokic. Jokic. And the first place team, the West. The second place team is gonna pull this shit off. You got Oklahoma State Thunder versus Golden State versus Utah. Yeah, Utah's not gonna have a shot with Golden State. I'm sorry. Sweep time. All right, you got Oklahoma Thunder versus Denver Nuggets. I think this can go to a 7th game, get that ratings up. It's gonna go back and forth with Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Westbrook and Schroeder and Paul George. I think this can be a decent game in the Midwest, and I think Denver's gonna pull it off, and they're gonna get to the conference finals. Into the conference finals. Sorry, Denver. I love the Broncos and stuff, but I think they're gonna get swept by Golden State, and this will be the only thing Oakland will ever win against a Denver team ever in the playoffs. And they obviously they're gonna face the Bucks and win, but they're gonna get to that. Now the Eastern Conference. Giannis and the Kumba and versus Blake Griffin and the Pistons and Dwayne Casey in the crew. And Dwayne Casey, he's gonna melt in the playoffs. Obviously, I think they're gonna at least get one win to tease the Detroit fans, and I think the Bucks are gonna roll on to face Boston, which they have Kyrie Irving and the crew, Al Horford. Yeah, Al Horford. I don't know. Versus the Pacers. You got yeah. I think Boston and the Pacers are gonna go back and forth. I pick Boston to win. Boston to win and go to second round. Philly and Brooklyn. Brooklyn has what's his name? D'Angelo Russell, and he's a great 3-point shooter. Every time he plays the Raptors, He makes a shitload of threes. He's pretty damn good. And the Sixers have Ben Simmons and the crew, Ben Simmons and Butler. Um, they're two best players, obviously. And I think Philly's gonna move on to the second round. And yeah, I think Philly's gonna move on to the second round. The Raptors and the Magic and Terrence Ross. Yeah, I think they're gonna have an early trip to Disney World, Orlando Magic, and yeah, I think the Raptors have a better team. Obviously, they've been physical. They had a good record. They won their division again, and they've been good all year. But let's see if they have a better stretch. Philly, Toronto. I picked Toronto, and they just have the better team. They don't have a like obviously two of those teams can lose their free agents, Butler and Kawhi, but I think Toronto has a better overall team. Oh, and Milwaukee. I said it, yeah, Milwaukee wins the 7. Uh, Giannis and the crew versus Toronto. Kawhi is gonna be a good series if this happens. Um, yeah, I think Giannis is too good, and they're first place for a reason. I know it's not by a big margin, but they're first place for a fucking reason. They're a good team, Milwaukee. I think they're gonna head on to the finals and get swept by the Warriors. I picked the Golden State Warriors to win. They're gonna win their third straight championship with Durant, and Durant's probably gonna leave. Durant's probably gonna leave to LA to compete against them and say, "Oh, I'm not a snake" and shit. And other than that, yeah, this is my prediction for the NBA playoffs. I'm not like the biggest basketball guy, obviously, but this is my prediction. I think it's pretty realistic, in my opinion. It's not. There's a couple upsets like the Jazz and not and yeah, that's it. The Jazz and I think the Jazz and stuff. And I think Golden State's gonna have only one loss in the Clippers. That's kind of unrealistic because I think the Nuggets and the Jazz are a better team than the Clippers, obviously, because the Clippers barely got in. The Clippers got in, and yeah, I hope it's a good, entertaining playoffs. I hope I'm wrong. I hope the Raptors and Nuggets face in the playoffs, and I have no choice who to root for because Denver's my second favorite city. Never been there. Toronto, one of my favorite cities in Canada, and yeah. Other than that, Bondi Sports Network signing out, and have yourself a great day, boy. Throwback time.